What's going on, guys? VirtualStealth here, and this week we'll be talking a little bit more about Sony and their PlayStation 4. Yes, Sony did announce their PlayStation 4. They introduced their Dualshock 4 controllers and a couple of new IPs that will be coming to the PlayStation 4, along with some partnerships that they will be doing with certain publishers and also certain services that Sony has acquired or are just doing partnership with. Some of those services include cloud services, streaming, sharing, and some of the developers that will be partnering with Sony on their PlayStation 4, Bungie and Blizzard. Bungie will be bringing some exclusive content to the PlayStation 4 with their game Destiny. We are not sure about the details on their exclusive content for the PlayStation 4. It might just be some custom skins, some custom characters. We don't know yet. Also, Blizzard will be bringing Diablo 3 to the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation 4. So look forward to that game in the future. If you own a PlayStation 3, I would at least check out Diablo 3. And as Sony mentioned, their PlayStation 4 will allow you to preview games without having to buy them. So if you own a PlayStation 4 by the time Diablo 3 comes out, I highly suggest you at least try out the game. Blizzard has been working on making Diablo 3 console friendly since the launch. Beta testers for Diablo 3 were saying this completely from the start. They were noticing that features were leaning towards more console friendly controls. So this isn't a huge surprise, but a lot of analysts and experts did expect Diablo 3 to release last year. This year we finally get Diablo 3 on a console. Recently, there has been a rumor about the pricing of the PlayStation 4 games due to a post on Amazon for a pre-order of Watch Dogs for the PlayStation 4. It was priced at $99.99, I believe. It might have been $100 straight, but basically rumor is, and what people are speculating, is that the PlayStation 4 and next-gen games will be priced at $100, and I am here to tell you guys that that is completely not true. I don't know why Amazon is charging you $100 to pre-order Watch Dogs for the PlayStation 4, but officials from Sony have confirmed that the PlayStation 4 games will range from 99 cents to $60. That's right, you guys heard it. They don't plan on increasing the price of new games. In fact, as you guys heard, the price ranges now from 99 to $60. And I know what you're thinking. Obviously, $60 games are going to be the AAA games like WWE, FIFA, Call of Duty, Battlefield, basically anything huge. But what this means is that there's going to be plenty of games that are going to be in between. And also the interesting thing is that now there will be 99-cent games, which kind of confuses me, because now basically what you're going to be able to do is, since you can play your PlayStation 4 games on your Vita, are people going to buy mobile styled games on their PlayStation 4 and then play it on their Vita whenever they want to? But most importantly, I should point out that Sony is leaning towards free-to-play games and services. They're doing this because they realize that free-to-play games make a ton of money. Free-to-play games have a huge potential to make more money than AAA games. During their conference, Sony also revealed their Dualshock 4 controller, and it appears that the leaked images from a couple weeks ago were in fact legit. The Dualshock 4 controller features a share button, which allows you to share your gameplay to social media networks such as Ustream and the PlayStation Network. The controller also comes with a touchpad, as I mentioned before last week. It's a touchpad, it's not a touch screen. Nothing will be displayed on the actual controller, but with the touchpad, like I said before last week too, it does give some extra options for game developers, whether they want to add new actions to their games or not. This is basically the way that game developers can get away with adding more actions than there are buttons. The DualShock 4 controller also has a blue light, which will be used by a stereo camera that basically is a built-in move feature inside your controller. That way you don't really have to use the blue ball. Another thing I would like to know is if all the DualShock controllers will be the same. Are they going to have a simpler version like the old PlayStation 3? And if they don't have a simpler version like the DualShock 3 controller, then what's going to be the price of the DualShock 4? Also, since the DualShock 4 has the blue light, the special share buttons, the touchpad, does this mean that third-party companies won't be able to produce controllers for the PlayStation 4? In the end, this might actually hurt Sony a little bit more than it will help them, because if Xbox doesn't have these special controllers, then that means there will be third-party controllers for their system. And some parents look at this when they're trying to buy a console for their kid. Maybe sometimes they have multiple kids in their home, and they don't want to spend hundreds of dollars just because they wanted to buy an extra controller so both of their kids can play at the same time. If there aren't any third-party manufacturers for the controllers, whether the controllers are shitty or not, the consumer doesn't care. They just want to save money. They want to save money so they don't have to spend hundreds of dollars just so all their kids can play at the same time. So overall, I personally like the DualShock 4. I'm just kind of weirded out by the analog sticks. They don't really look good. They kind of look crappy. It looks like they were trying to innovate or change the sticks a little bit too much, and they couldn't think of anything to do with it. So they just put a ring around the dome. And in my opinion, with that ring around the dome, it actually defeats the purpose of a domed stick. So there goes the advantage of having extra accuracy with your PlayStation controller. So a lot of people have been questioning the fact that why Sony didn't present their actual console. And here is my theory after reading a couple of articles. I personally believe that the PlayStation 4 doesn't actually exist yet. They don't have prototypes yet. Well, they might have prototypes yet, but they didn't want to show their prototypes. Here's a problem by showing the prototype. Maybe if you showed your prototype, the hype for it would be way less, because let's say the prototype wasn't as good looking as the final product can be. So let's say the prototype looks kind of stupid. People are going to be upset by that. They're going to have less hype for the PlayStation 4. But let's say that the prototype was actually really good looking. So fast forward to the holiday season. What are people going to say when the console doesn't look anything like the prototype and actually looks uglier? That might actually make it or break it for some people, and I think it's kind of smart that Sony didn't really show their console or any type of prototype at this announcement. This way they'll actually have something to present at E3. They'll probably be announcing the final details of their new PlayStation Network. I really hope they really need to revamp their PlayStation Network, and also they will be probably able to do the highly anticipated reveal of the PlayStation 4 console. In another interview, Sony has also confirmed that PlayStation will be allowing used games. So don't worry guys, we still will be able to purchase used games at GameStop, even though they do rip us off. But if you were worried about not being able to play used games, then you have nothing to worry about now. As I kind of predicted before, I didn't really state this, but I believe that PlayStation, or I mean Sony, my bad, patented this technology so nobody else could use it. Maybe they have a contract with GameStop. I mean, that's not the only way you can block used games, but maybe they're threatening GameStop. Maybe you will see a partnership later on in the future, or maybe they just want to charge royalties in case anyone does want to block used games in the future. So we never know. I hope that the Xbox 720 doesn't block used games either, otherwise that will kill it. And I swear, as long as the Xbox 720 is not leaps and bounds above the PlayStation 4, then blocking used games on the Xbox will definitely kill the console, and it will be the biggest flop in recent history. Alright guys, so that's about it for today's news. I will be talking about some of these topics a little bit more in depth in a separate video. I just wanted to keep this video as short as possible, give you guys the facts and what actually happened. If you would like to see my fully detailed videos on the PlayStation 4, please subscribe to my channel, and I will be uploading that as soon as possible, either this week or either this weekend or sometime next week. Just check the description. If it's not there, then subscribe to me, or keep it in mind and follow me on Twitter because I will be linking my videos whenever I do upload one to YouTube. Anyways, remember guys, if you would like me to cover any news articles or news stories, I would prefer them to be technology related or something that is gaming related. But you can always send me a PM if I find it interesting enough. If I find something to talk about the article or the news story, then I will cover it on my channel on one of these episodes. I'm sorry that these last couple of episodes have been only PlayStation kind of oriented. That's honestly what I've been looking at right now. There hasn't been that many news about Xbox 360 that weren't just rumors. And I said 360, so I'm sorry, I meant the 720. Anyways, I'm VirtualStealth and I'm out.